It's Coffee with Colleen today. I have my coffee here. Kate is polishing up her workshop for NARTS. So she is not joining us this morning, but that's okay. You will see her all next week. Oh, actually next week we have another show before the NARTS, so that's right. So anyway, today I want to talk about Instagram followers and Cindy Cwck. So Cindy, this video is for you. And then also you can all thank Cindy because she's the one who came up with this question and idea. She wants to know about how to get more Instagram followers. So what I'm going to talk to you about is most of you probably have at least 1,000 or a few thousand followers. So I'm going to keep it a little bit elementary. And excuse the way I look today. I am on the fly, so I am going to be hopping on my Peloton bike here. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing myself in camera. I'm going to be hopping on my Peloton bike here. I'm sitting in my kitchen. Okay, so this is really a live and raw video. All right, so good morning, everyone. Let me know. Feel free to comment. Let me know who's here. All right, so one of the first things I want to teach you about is finding competitors. So what you do is you can go to your competitors online on Instagram and actually open up their feed. You can click on followers and see everybody who's following them. Some people might actually use, there's a lot of apps and a lot of software out there that will help people get a lot of followers. There's a lot of tips and tricks and hacks to just getting a whole bunch of followers, but you don't really want to do that. Those are not true and authentic followers. It just makes you look like you have a really big number. But in all actuality, it is better to have a smaller group of engaged followers than a really big, large group of followers who aren't really engaged. So when you're looking at some of these competitors or anyone, like you can even go to a celebrity, you can go to any business, any influencer, any person that you feel would have the same customers that would be interested in your items or the same group of people. And you can actually use a few little software tips and tricks. One is called Fame Audit and one is called Social Audit. And you can use those to decipher if that Instagram account has authentic and real followers or if they got them through inorganic ways. So inorganic would be they paid for them, and organic is where people people selected to follow their Instagram accounts. So go into your competitors and then click on people that they are following. Now you can just go through, if you're pretty confident about your competitor, you can just go through and click, but you can only follow 160 people per day, and I actually think it's per hour, but I've never tried more than 160. But I know it's 160 is the magic number. Good morning, Adele. I know 160 is the magic number. And about 20% of the people who follow you will follow you back. So then the other thing that you want to do is, wait a day or two and then go back and unfollow the people who are not following you back. So you don't have a bunch of those, like, you want to make sure that you have more people following you than you are following. But you also don't want to have a bunch of those requests just kind of like hanging out there. So go back and delete anyone that is not followed you back, but also make sure you don't have all those requests hanging out there. And then make sure that when you take a step back and look at your social post, your social feed, that your posts look really beautiful and they look really nice, and it's really about consistency here. So when you look at your feed, because people will do this, and this is one reason when people are coming, and one reason that they'll decide to follow you or not is how your posts look. Do they look engaging? Do they look interesting? And so you want to follow the 3 E's. So I know everyone's posting product and selling it, and that's totally cool, totally fine. But make sure that you're also following the 3 E's. And the 3 E's are entertaining, educational, and empowerment. So make sure that you are posting some things that fit into those 3 E's. And that's where you can use a good scheduler, because you can create the 3E posts. You can create those ahead of time, and you can put those on a scheduler. You can just, knock many posts out in a short amount of time and schedule those out for months in advance if you want. And then every day, all you have to do is post the individual product posts. So make sure that you have a lot of other stuff going on in between your selling posts and your product posts. And then the post should be nicely designed. As I was saying, if you step back and look at your overall Instagram feed, make sure that you don't have some photos that are like dark filters and some photos that are light filters, and make sure that your style of photography is pretty much consistent. So that is something that we go over when we do a branding review and a branding interview, is we actually will tell you what your photography style is for your brand and what's going to communicate the best for your brand. But regardless of that, just make sure that overall, when you take a step back and go, wow, yeah, all of our posts, like, they're pretty consistent and they look good. So Instagram is really a storyboard. So it's important that it's all about the photos, and it's important that your photos look really, really good. And then ideally you want to turn on notifications so you can be sure to comment back on other people's posts. But I get, like, that just might be way, way, way overkill. So if you don't turn on your posts, your comments, notifications, make sure that you go back and spend some time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, and are commenting back on people's comments, because their friends will see that. So when you comment on somebody's feed, and if it's a good comment and a worthy comment, and I don't even care if you have a whole bunch of really nice comments that are pre-written and you keep those on your pages, or a notepad, depending on what kind of computer you have, and then you just go and copy and paste. But make sure you have a lot of different comments. Like, don't just keep copying and pasting the same comment on everybody's thing, because you do want to appear genuine and caring. But when you comment on other people's feeds, their friends and their followers see that, and then many of them will oftentimes go, oh, hey, I like what that person commented, or I want to, who is that too good to be true, or what is better than before? I want to go check them out. I want to follow them. So again, most people are going to come to your feed first before they follow you. So making sure that your posts look really good and your feed looks really good, that is really, really important. So that is key. And another thing I want to tell you about, this doesn't really have to do with followers, but this did come up recently with somebody, is there's a question about using hashtags, and that if you use hashtags, you need to use them within 3 minutes of the post, otherwise they're irrelevant. Your post isn't going to get any traction and the hashtags are irrelevant. So that was such a great question. I put it to my social media colleagues that I am a member of, and what came back, because we have real pros in each social platform. Like, we have some real pros we have some people that all they do is Instagram, and other people, all they do is Twitter. Other people, all they do is LinkedIn. So pretty much any question that you have that you want to get more information on, there's a true expert in that particular platform. So I took my question there, and the response we got back is, when you're dealing with hashtags, if you're dealing with local hashtags, then you can follow up and use those hashtags at any time, and you're going to get the traction. If you're using bigger known hashtags that tend to have like a million posts or more, or a million comments or more attached to that hashtag, then you do want to kind of use the 3-minute rule. So 3-second rule for food off the floor, and 3-minute rule for big, huge hashtags. So what would be a big, huge hashtag? let's say you're in the furniture industry and you tend to use um, Joy Condo or hashtag Joy Condo or hashtag Spark Joy or hashtag Joanna Gaines. Those are the kinds of hashtags that are going to have like millions of comments that are attached to them. So those are the ones that you would want to make sure to post within 3 minutes of your Instagram post. And the other hashtags that you might use more locally might be the hashtag name of your business, hashtag consignment. Consignment probably has a lot of posts now, especially with the Real Reel. So, and some of those others getting into consignment. So, or even the word use. So those I would kind of put into that other 3 minute category. But anything you do locally, hashtag community, hashtag your community, hashtag San Antonio, hashtag consignment in Atlanta, things like that are a little bit more local. So that is what you would probably want to stay with on the local, and you can get more traction on those. Doesn't matter when you use those hashtags. So always use hashtags. And the unfortunate thing is when you're using a scheduler, you don't always get your hashtags in because you're pumping out everything on a scheduler. So you do have to kind of be mindful that, or make sure that somebody else knows to go in and like add the hashtags after the post has posted. But if you're just taking your products and throwing them up there, then the 3 minute rule is pretty easy to follow. So those are some of the biggest things, the biggest things to do with Instagram, really, and I'm just going to leave you with that for right now is, hi, Angie, good morning. Really, I want you to just all take some time and start like harvesting followers off of your competitors, because you already know that they've got a great following. They've got people who are going to be interested in your products, and go to your online competitors as well, especially if you have a website. So if you have online competitors, harvest them and then make sure you have posts about shopping your website and things in there. But I'm going to just leave you with that. There's a lot more tips and tricks that we can continue to go over, but I don't want to overwhelm you with them. So I'm just going to say, start with that. It's kind of fun to do. So I did this with somebody last week, and we wrote down the number of people that she had following her on Instagram, and then kind of set a goal, like, let's see if we can she was really close to like another big benchmark number. So gosh, I think it was in a really short amount of time we hit that, like within that day that we hit that benchmark number. And so it's kind of fun to go back and watch your Instagram account grow, but you do have to put some time in it. And let's see if I have any questions. Good morning, just bunches of good mornings. So hi, everybody. And that is all I have. Does anyone have any questions? And then I'll continue this series because there's a lot of stuff you can do to grow your Instagram account, like overwhelming. So I'll continue this series and continue to talk about it. Also, we're going to cover this in our training. So many of you know, and I've gotten many emails about, normally the day before NARTS, we go and do an all-day digital marketing and e-commerce training, and we're not doing that this year because Liberty is putting on a training that a lot of people wanted to attend. And also some people were not able to make it to NARTS, unfortunately, this year. So we were asked if we could do it online. And of course, like that's what I do. I am an online girl. So we are starting July 15th, and it's going to be a 6-week course. We're going to do an hour a week, give or take an hour to 90 minutes. And we have a private Facebook group set up that all the participants will be invited to, and it's going to be live. It's going to be just like this. So everything will be recorded, so you can go back and watch it again. But we're going to like really, really dig in deep. We're going to talk about strategies. We're going to do share screens. I'm going to actually show you how to do a lot of these things. So I think it's going to be even better than the all day conference room type of setting. So I think it's going to actually be really fun. You can ask questions. We can even pull up your accounts and do some things live. So it's going to be a really, really great training. We're going to talk about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, as well as some of these other tips and tricks and strategies on how to grow your followers, how to make more sales online, stuff. So that starts July 15th. And you can register online. I will put the link here in the comment section. And other than that, if you have any questions about Instagram, put them on here. I'll continue this series with another little video. And but for starters, go out and start following. So looking at some of your competitors' followers and start following some of their followers and just have some fun with that. Get used to going on and commenting back on people's stuff. So I think that that's a pretty good to-do list for this upcoming week. And then we'll talk about a few more tips and tricks and hacks that you can do. Because what you really want to do then is get up that momentum. So let's just kind of start building. And then I'm going to show you some things that you can do to really, really pick up the momentum. Like, you know, when you're in the thousands, like when you want to get to 10,000 followers as soon as possible. Because once you get to 10,000 Instagram followers, then like, this whole world of opportunity opens up to you. You can do all these other really cool things in your Instagram stories and things like that. So make sure you do lots of great Instagram stories as well. That's really, really important. But we'll talk about that in another video. So everyone, have a super, super awesome week. And I can't wait to see all of you, most of you, at NART's conference next week. But we will have a video, live video next Tuesday. So tune in right here, 9:15 a.m., and I'll see you all next week. Bye.